Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, now in the book, they are coming in the main rules of the sarf, so that we have to learn properly. These things like, tasrif and, how the awzan and jam and all these things you have read, in my book, in detail. But there are some things actually new and that we have to learn properly, because that actually what, sarf is. But before explaining that, I wanted to explain one thing. Last time, Zafar asked this question about Quranic Arabic, and Faisal was saying that people misunderstand, people didn't understand it properly. So this thing really is people don't understand what the language is, why you learn a language, and then after that, how you learn the text. People don't understand the the relation between both of them. So this problem going on. I was thinking, at least not in the whole world, at least people who come to the class, they understand properly that why we don't like the term Quranic Arabic, Quranic language, because it is not true and it actually does not make any sense. So we have to understand properly what language is, and when you study the Quran, what you're doing basically. So if I explain properly, what language basically, because I've been working on this matter, I'm writing this commentary about how to understand the Quran. So I study a lot of things about language, how language work. If you understand this thing properly, you will never be deceived by Quranic. Because, we love the Quran, but they think if you put a name of Quran somewhere, so it becomes a sacred. We have to understand the problem properly to learn what language basically is. Language has got two things. Words. Everybody knows words basically, and words they have conventions. So word basically is not that anybody can invent any word. They need to have convention. People should follow them, their words. And then you have meanings. Meanings basically don't live in the words. People don't understand. People think meanings live in the words. Meanings actually live in the mind of the speaker. That people don't understand. So it basically it is intention of the speaker, or it lives there. If you understand this thing, it will help a lot, inshallah.
There's
Sorry?
some letter missing in the
Oh, really?
language.
Oh, I see. Okay. Language. Okay, I didn't do properly. Okay, language. Okay. You have to you. Okay, language. So, try to understand the thing properly, what happening is. So words actually, they are by convention, that how people use. For example, take any word, and like last time I make a circle. A word basically has this full meaning. But people don't use the words always for the full meaning. Sometimes they use for this part, sometimes this part, sometimes this part, and sometimes, any part, people use it differently, a word. So, but basically what this tells you, that it is in convention. Either use this one or this one, this one, this one, this one. People have been using this. That's how convention is. Now when the speaker takes the words for a meaning he intends, he is obliged to use the word, for a meaning somewhere here. He can't go beyond the circle. He can't go that, because he can't leave the convention. But he has full right to make intention anywhere. His intention fixes the meaning. The meaning is what's basically a boundary. Boundaries are there, and the intention of the speaker, that what actually gives the meaning. For example, if I said to you in English language, I am going to the bank. So it could mean that I am going to the bank at the river to have a picnic. But it also can mean I am going to bank to get money. Isn't it like that? The word bank actually does not have the meaning. Meaning actually in my head. The meaning actually lives in the head of the speaker. So when you say in English something like that, the words are not enough. People's intention, that's what matters. So what happening is, if you read the Quran, basically what happened in the Quran, you want to know this bit. The intention of the speaker, what God wants to say. But this thing that the words that he uses, what they really mean, that Quran will not tell. that you have to know somewhere else. Then you have to know that within that boundary, which one God means, Allah means. That's what you have to understand. This bit, this actually is language. This actually is what? A convention. You have to know from somewhere. You have to know from usage, how the people have been using. You have to know this thing. And then after that, if the same word used in the Quran, so now you think, okay, what a speaker means could be somewhere around here, but it can't be beyond that. If you don't have this one, then any word can have any meaning. If you read, khimar in the Quran, khimar means any covering. You read khamr in the Quran, you know it's not wine, something else, because God intends something else. You can mean anything else. So this actually what happened. Unless you know this bit, you never can know the intention of the speaker, because the speaker is not going to tell you. He is using the human language, and human convention is very important. When people don't learn this bit, they only want to learn here. They basically want somebody else telling them that this is what God means. They are not learning through the language. Language is not helping them. For example, the word salatun. Let me give an example in Arabic. Salatun. Arabs have been using salat for so many meanings. Salah means mercy. Salah means prayer, dua. Salah means the ibadah, ritual. Salah means so many. Salah means to turn to someone. Salah has so many meanings. So this word salah has been used in the Quran. Which meaning? So, when Quran uses one of those meaning. So you have to now know the intention of the speaker, which meaning he intends. For example, when Allah SWT aqimus salata, so we know he wants to the prayer, like established. But when Quran says that inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, that's not, Allah does not do prayer, it means actually mercy. Allah sends the mercy upon these people. Or when Quran says, La tusalli ala ahadim minhum mata abada, don't make funeral prayer on any hypocrites. Salah has been used for funeral prayer. To see same word salah, sometimes mercy, rahmah, sometimes dua, sometimes prayer, sometimes funeral prayer. This actually is within the boundary. It has to be a boundary within the boundary. So when this word is used in the Quran, now what you need to know, what is the intention of the speaker. Once you know that, you know the meaning. So similarly, if you read Iqbal's poetry, the first thing you need to actually know Urdu language. Meaning is the Urdu words, in the convention of Urdu speaking people, what the boundary is. Then when you read Iqbal, then you have to think what Iqbal means by that word. It must be something around here within this boundary. It can't be beyond that. It is impossible that Iqbal said, house, and he means mine. He will say house. It means mine, meaning which is known to the people. So when the Quran use the word, bayt, like Baytullah or something like that, it will be a meaning which Arabs know. It must be Arab's convention. Within that limit, the boundary. That's why this is very, very important. That's why the companies are very keen to basically explain the Quran in the light of Arabic poetry. That's why all Mufassirin, they're keen really to explain to you the words, actually how the words have been used among Arab people, then how the Quran has used. Is it clear or not? So language is not only words. Language, words plus meaning will reside in the mind of the speaker. Simple thing that. But speaker is bound not to exceed this boundary. He should have actually boundary of the convention of the people. So this, if you don't know this boundary, you can never. Then anybody, like now the feminist women saying "wadribuhunna." Quran says strike the women, hit the women. They say no. Daraba in Arabic language also can mean to tell the stories. Think really, you can make any meaning, but Arabs never use this word in that meaning. وَضْرِبُهُنَّ ضَرَبَهُ in Arabic language never came to tell a story. So if you don't want to learn this one, you only want to learn here, what will happen? Then basically no boundary. You can make any meaning. That is the danger. And also thing is, if you don't know really how Arabs have been using, when you read the Quran, you never can appreciate the beauty. You never can relate how Quran has developed this word, how the meaning so highly, because you never know anything else anyway. Only thing you learn actually the meaning in the Quran. You never learn Arabic language properly. So what you learn actually, when people learn Arabic, Quranic Arabic, they only learn the words according to the intention of the speaker. They are not over learning words according to convention. This was the missing, and that what important in every language. First thing you learn is the convention of the people. Like the same word, how many different types they use. This sentence, that sentence, so many sentences, 10, 20 sentences you learn, then you know how to use the word. But if you never learn this, you only learn this, you are not learning language. You are learning basically only intention of the speaker. And that intention is misleading. Is it clear or not? So I don't want to waste so much time, but Faisal was saying to me, there has been some confusion to some people. Then because people are impressed when somebody says Quranic Arabic, so they think it must be something very important, but they don't understand really. It is a misleading word. Quranic Arabic does not exist. What exactly Arabic language? How it has been used in the Quran? The meaning is like Arabic language. When I speak, to my intention, to how I use Arabic language, and how I convey my message. Simple thing. It is actually Arabic language, Arabs can mention, but how Quran actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made his own intention and express through these words. So these words are clear expression. But if you don't know this convention, you basically nothing. It is like basically somebody wants to learn English through Shakespeare, or somebody wants to know Urdu through Iqbal. He will never learn anything. You need to learn Urdu language, then you read Iqbal's poetry. Then you read actually what Iqbal means by these words. You learn Arabic language, then you learn a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. You learn Arabic language, then you learn poetry. That's actually what happens. Everybody does this thing. I don't understand why only Muslims don't know this thing. Everybody in the world knows this thing, that you have to learn properly a language, and then after that, anybody's intention. What is speaker? Any speaker. First you learn language properly, then you go to any particular speaker, any particular writer, then you know what he intends, from that. But you don't learn language from the speaker. You have to know from the convention. Is it clear? Though actually this should not be but anyway, it's related to, it should be clear money. People really need to know Arabic language as Arabs used to use. Even if there are bad stories, even the poets like Imrul Qais were dirty poet, but that dirty poetry is very important, because that will tell you that how Arabs have been using the word. So you depend on that. Once you know that all this stuff, then you read the Quran, then you can appreciate. You can really what Quran is doing. Yeah.
Sheikh, you're not just talking about the vocabulary, you're talking about the nahu and the sarf.
Yeah, all that comes in the convention. Anyway, I'm trying to say, many people think language means words. That's actually misleading. Language does not mean words. Language means really words through convention, and then plus intention of the speaker. That's what language means. So when you read the Quran, you basically what happening is you using Arab people's convention, but with the intention of God, what He intends through that convention. That's what you want to know. But if you don't know this convention, what you're learning is the intention. It is like reading a Quranic translation by somebody. That's all. You don't really learn Arabic language. That's what people don't understand this thing. To me, really, Alhamdulillah, it has been clear all the time. Even when I was not ulama, even a student, I knew that this whole idea, Quranic Arabic, is useless. But I didn't know in this country, people even the basic thing don't know. And Faisal put that somewhere, and some people actually are angry and all those things, because how can you say that? They don't understand really. It is disrespect to Quran to make Quranic Arabic. Quran did not come to teach Arabic language. Quran has come for the people who know Arabic language, and then after that they want to know God's intention, what He wants, how to use that Arabic language. That's what He is. But if you have no idea of Arabic language, you can't know the Quran. It's a simple thing. But you want to just know God's intention without knowing this thing, it's impossible. You have to know the stories of the kite, the story of the lion, the story of all these books. You have to know this thing. You have to know how Arabs have been using their language. Then you come here. But you don't want to learn anything. I just want to know intention of a speaker. How can you know? You don't have any boundary. That actually all in our time, so many problems happening. Anybody can come and interpret the Quran. Oh no, how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean like that? How can women, He is creator of men and women both. How can He allow the women to be hit? It must have different meaning. See? Then it's not Arabic language. You can make any meaning. This really, I didn't know it was so serious, but now I realize it is very serious to understand really how the language works. It is very, very important for anybody who wants to understand the Quran to learn Arabic language properly. The language of the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Arabic poetry, Arabic speeches, even hadith and all those things properly, with the grammar, all those properly. Then after that you come to the Quran and see what God intends. Then you read His intention, what in His mind, what He wants to say. Then you learn that. But if you have no idea of this one, you're wasting your time. Nothing else really. You're not learning Arabic language. Quran is not going to teach you Arabic. Quran only can teach you if you know Arabic. That's why Muslims always, not first time, Muslims always in the history of the mankind, Muslims always have been learning Arabic, then Quran. This idea, you learn Arabic through the Quran. I don't think actually even Imam Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, or 1400 years, nobody has done this. Everybody learn Arabic normally. If you see curriculum of the madrasah and Islamic college throughout Islamic history, it always language, grammar, language, poetry, muallaqat, hamasa, this and that. Then they come to the Quran. This idea, you just throw it everything out and you learn Quran. This actually never existed. I don't understand how people believe something like that. It is basically misunderstanding the whole how the language works. It never happened in Islam. In Islam, it never happened that people left out Arabic language and they want to learn Arabic through the Quran. Then somebody can say Quran was not even Arabic language. It is how you make meaning, but Arabs never use like that. How can you say you don't know Arabic language? It is very, very important to learn this bit. Then you come to this one, then you understand properly. If you have no idea of this one, you basically don't know this. Anybody can make any meaning. Is it clear to everybody? Do it taken some. Is it clear to everybody?
Yeah, just people were asking, so is it, they had issues with calling it danger, the word danger is using the use of the word Quranic Arabic, it is dangerous or deceiving?
Yeah, but, if you think really, people have no idea what the consequence will be. If you spend 2 years time of your child or somebody on this and you don't teach him this, you really, it's basically wasting time of the person. It is really something dangerous, no doubt. It is really going to, it is something never happened. Actually, nobody does this. Even if you want to learn Iqbal's poetry from in Urdu, first thing I will teach you Urdu language. Not Iqbal's poetry, I'll say, oh no, leave Iqbal's poetry for a while, come to learn Urdu properly. That I will tell people. If you want to know Ghalib, same thing. If you want to anything. If you want to learn Mutanabbi's poetry in Arabic language, I'll say, okay, fine. Leave it for a while, learn this language properly. Then you come to Mutanabbi's poetry. That everybody does. I don't understand how people are convinced among Muslims that you can learn Arabic language just through the Quran. And that will be authentic. That never can be authentic. Anybody can question you, you have no answer. Anybody can know, this word does not mean this. Then what you can do? Think properly. You have to know first words properly. That's why the good people who write tafsir, they always discuss the words as Arab have used. So like Imam Mawla Farai, he's the Mufradat al-Quran. Many people, they explain properly how Arabs have been using. Then they say how Quran has used. To know what bit, the whole boundary or part of it, then they explain properly. But Quran always remains within the boundary. Quran never exceeds the boundary. But if you don't have any idea of the boundary, you don't know. Is it clear?
One of your past lectures, I think, you mentioned in one of your lectures that it's very important to understand the language, that you should be able to imagine and think in that language.
Yeah.
So Quran, I think, from your words, it will never be understood until we are able to imagine the purpose of that word and think that word in our mind.
You're right. For example, like Quran says, مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. It is not that you learn what Quran says, يُنْفِقُونَ means they spend. You have no idea. You have to further learn actually يُنْفِقُونَ, this root, what it means. What nifaq means, what nafaqa means, what infaq means, how, actually not only that, all the words which start Arabic language with the noon, they have particular meaning of coming out. You have to know how, then after that, see how the Quran is used. That's actually how things are. Look, I will explain to you, by if'al and taf'il, yuf'alu and yufa'ilu, why dhamma is so powerful. If you don't know all these things, when you read the Quran, why Quran use one word instead of the other, you have no idea, because you don't know the language. To me, really, it is very clear. But still, if some people have some question, maybe our duty is even things which are most obvious in the world, still we have to teach. Because that's how teachers have. Teachers actually sometimes teach alif ba ta tha, which actually is so clear, but still you have to teach that.
So, is it correct to say that people are deceived by the word Quranic Arabic?
What happening is because Muslims love the Quran. So when you say Quranic Arabic, the people say, why should we learn poetry and this and that? We want Quran, but they don't understand really. To understand the Quran, you need to learn this language. The simple thing like that. You can't learn Quran without that language. You have to go through this. It's not that somebody comes and teaches you Quran within 2 years, you know Arabic language. You basically remain in the same place. It's like learning Quran through the translation. It's a simple thing like that. But anyway, thing is, we are not in this world economists, but at least our duty is to explain to the people, things properly. And those who make effort to understand, will understand. And if somebody still insists on their way, we make dua for them. Allah help us and them, and forgive everybody. Okay, let's move. first actually wanted, my team in Cambridge, they should be understanding everything. Because, they are the people who are going to face everybody coming to you're teaching Arabic wrong, you should teach Quranic Arabic. So Faisal and Zafar, are you happy with? You understand this people? Huh? You're convinced. That's what main thing is. At least people who work in this, they should be convinced. They should understand properly. Otherwise, anybody can go, why you teach this Arabic? You should teach Quranic Arabic. Okay, now let's come. You see, nobody enjoys this thing. But the reason is because it is important. And I really believe when we learn Sarf and Nahu and all those things, we get same reward as when we learn Quran. Because understanding of the Quran depends on this thing. So when you people are spending your money and time on this thing, you're getting a reward of understanding the Quran. Because it depends on that. Yeah.
Another question I read in one of these chat rooms, it was about the Cambridge Islamic College and your lectures. And one of the person was saying that I wonder how Sheikh would advise, after learning this Arabic, how would you approach Quran? I didn't understand the question, but it was one of the questions on the chat rooms.
But how companions did it? Which Arabic companions knew? Before the Quran was revealed, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali and the Prophet ﷺ himself, which Arabic they knew? Did they learn Arabic from the Quran or they knew Arabic before the Quran? Tell me, what exactly happened? What historically happened? When the Quran was revealed, did they learn Arabic language from the Quran or they knew Arabic and when they revealed, they understand it properly? And the Quran says, بِلِسَانٍ عَرَبِيٍّ مُبِينٍ, and the Quran says you can't find any mistake. That's what we want to ask people. We ask people, learn the same language which Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali knew. Learn the same and then read the same Quran as they read. Simple thing there. We don't ask anything else. We want the same process as they did. They learn, they had their own language and then Quran revealed to them. Learn Arabic language and then Quran is revealed to you and then try to understand. There's no other way. I don't understand any other way in this world. It is impossible. Quran is not come to teach you Arabic language. Quran has come to you. If you know Arabic language, then you can understand it. It's a simple thing. Quran did not come to teach Arabic language. For that purpose, there are so many other things. It's a human thing. To learn language, it's a human thing. Anybody can teach you. You don't need a God to come to teach you. Is it clear, Imran?
Oh yeah, I'm clear. It's just for the benefit of others.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. You have a question?
So I was just going to say, obviously with the words, I understand, and that's the same principle with the grammatical structure of how the Arabic...
Yeah, means when I mean convention, the meaning is to convention of the words, convention of the words used in a sentence. Actually the thing, simple thing is, in the language is never words. Language always sentence. Language basically is always sentence. It is really Greek, philosophy of Greek people, their influence when people think there are words and then from the words you make sentence. It will never happen really. No language in the world is like that. You start words and then you say sentence. Always language are sentence. And within that sentence, there are words, no doubt about it. But another people use the words first and then they make mufrada and khabar and fail and file. It's not like that. Languages always are sentence. That's how language is. Without sentence, you can't have language. That I'm trying to say. Language basically are words plus meaning. That language means. Language does not mean words. And words are convention. When you say Baitul means house, it's a convention of our people. Otherwise, ba and ya and ta. Ba does not mean door, and ya does not mean toilet, and ta does not mean bedroom. Then it's not like that. Baitun as a whole is basic convention. Arab people use this baitu bayata for this meaning. Masjidun, the meme does not mean prayer, place of imam and seeing something. No, masjid as a whole is a convention. It means actually this place of worship. That's what it means. The languages are convention of the people, how they use. If you don't know the convention, you never can understand. You have to bring that convention and then try to understand the speaker's mind, what the speaker wants to convey through that word. So he cannot go beyond you people's convention. He cannot go. If he does it, then we will say he does not know Arabic language. So for example, if anything in the Quran has been used, but not in language, which Arabs know, then people say it's not Arabic language, it is something else. That is important that every single words and sentence in the Quran must be Arabic. Must be as Arabs used to use. According to Arabic convention, Arab people's convention. Otherwise, never can be Arabic. And the Quran says, Ajami wa Arabi. It's impossible. Messenger, he is Arab, and the book is Arabic. Is it clear to everybody? Think actually, no doubt, sometimes some things take time to understand, but to me, it is clear, but it is not enough. Everybody should understand this properly. Anyway, so now let's come to this book. Now there is الباب الثالث في أحكام تعم الاسم والفعل.